In China, more and more young people are opting for so-called AI boyfriends. Why?
Assalamu alaikum guys, and welcome to another Iftaar Sessions episode. Uncut, inshallah. Unless I say something really silly, then I'm going to have to cut it out. But otherwise, inshallah, it should be uncut. So this episode is going to be based on a clip that I saw on the BBC. This was about AI boyfriends being on the rise in China. First thing I've got to say is, naturally the West is not the biggest fan of China. So in their defense, I would say that this and what we're going to discuss is a phenomenon not only unique to China, but this is unique to the West. I would say, nay, any even developing country. So you've got developed and developing country as well. Let's have a look at the first point.
For me, he plays a more important role than a real person. A real person cannot be with you at any given time of day, but my AI boyfriend can. He's given me a lot of emotional comfort.
Ho ho ho! So she wants somebody that's going to be around all of the time. Firstly, this is a very unhealthy expectation to have, but also an innate expectation, yeah? Unrealistic in the sense that you cannot expect this from a human being. That's the unrealistic aspect. The innate aspect is this is something that can be done, and this is a longing that we all have, but it can only be done by the creator. And we know China is primarily not a Muslim or religious country. So like G.K. Chesterton said regarding Nietzsche, who's a German philosopher, Nietzsche's quote when he said God is dead, G.K. Chesterton said, God being dead doesn't mean that people won't believe in a God. It means that anything and everything can become God, i.e. that there will be a void. And that's why Justin Barrett, in his Oxford study, he looked into loads of countries. Yeah, I forget. I think it was over 20 countries he was looking at. Let me see. Uncut, yeah. Let's keep it uncut, yeah. Let's keep it uncut. Atheists. That's the thing. Okay. Yeah, 20 countries. I was right. He did 40 studies over 20 countries. And he concluded that we have an innate disposition to believe in God. There is somebody else called Olivera Petrovich who concluded the same thing. And there are others as well. Did I note them down? Yeah, psychologist Paul Bloom also said that belief in a designer is natural in young children. So it's a natural inclination, but when we go further away from God, naturally we look and search for these in other things. And when you search for them in other things, normally there are people that are controlling them, and people have agendas. Oh yes, especially if they are away from religion, then the desires, they are giving preference and priority of their desires that will naturally lead them into doing nefarious things, putting themselves first. Yeah? Let's have a look at the second one.
Dating in real life can consume a lot of energy, and everyone is different, which can lead to conflict and fighting. With AI, I can set it up to meet my preference. So why should I choose a real person?
Oh, so because they are busy and because there could be conflict, you want someone that you can tailor to your needs. Now, this is a young woman, yeah, might I add. And this young woman most likely will want to get into a relationship later on. But she is setting an unrealistic standard. The more we do stuff again and again, our brains, there's something called neuroplasticity, where you've got new connections forming in the brain. There used to be an old theory that said that the connections would stop and your brain would be the way it will be for the rest of your life in like 4 or 5 years, the first 4 or 5 years of your life. However, that's now changed because of neuroplasticity, which means constant repetition of something can create new neural pathways in your brain. And when it comes to habit, this is exactly what they're doing. Yeah, oh, I want to speak to somebody. I want to speak to my boyfriend. So again, she's programming herself into thinking that that's what a boyfriend should do. And that's exactly what's going to happen, frankly. Yeah, it's an unrealistic standard of real relationships. And the other fundamental thing is she's training herself into thinking it's all about me, receiving, mate. Give me. Not what I need to give to you. Oh, because relationships about reciprocation. Yeah, it's about receiving and it's about giving. That's what works. It's like a seesaw. Yeah, if only one side is going up and down, you have to both do it together in order to benefit each other. One person needs to go down for the other to go up, and then this person needs to go down for the other to go up. This is what relationships are. And conflict is so important to understand. People confuse difference of opinion with conflict, and people are really rushing to avoid conflict. Why? Because of the breakdown of the family unit implies when children are young, they're seeing their parents argue, and that affects them and fills them with trauma, and naturally they want to avoid that when they grow up. But what you need to understand is that's running away from the thing is not really going to solve it. You know what I mean? Like they say, you can't run away from your shadow. Yeah, if you want to get rid of the shadow, you have to go towards it. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But this is uncut. So, yeah, guys, this is very important. Conflict, having differences of opinion is okay. You know what I mean? You can disagree about something, and that's healthy. What's not healthy is passive aggressiveness. A person keeps it inside and doesn't feel that they can explain it or say it. So the fact that you're communicating is good. The fact that your cards are being laid out on the table is good. But there's a difference between ikhtilaf and mukhalifat. Ikhtilaf means difference of opinion. Mukhalifat, mukhalif hona, it's and having enmity towards somebody. That's what it is. Yeah, there's a difference between difference of opinion and having enmity. That's the problem. Have difference of opinion, but still like the person. You know what I mean? Disagree with their stance, disagree with their thing, but don't hate the person. Hate the argument. That's what they say in a good, constructive debate. You're dealing with the arguments, not the person. That's why ad hominem arguments are logical fallacies, flaws in logic. Yeah, which means you're attacking the person's character rather than their argument. Let's have a look at the next bit.
A lot of people feel lonely at times, but not everyone is lucky enough to have their family and friends by their side all the time. An AI boyfriend can be online 24/7, solve your problems and listen to your worries.
Yeah, so like I was saying, quality in relationships is decreasing. And as quality in people is decreasing, religion is also decreasing. You know what I mean? I guess what I'm trying to say is that relationships are predicated on people, and people are predicated on religion. If we don't have religion, it's problematic. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a healthy, all-rounded life without religion, because your creator has told you how to look after this machine, how to look after the people that are around you, to have a healthy life and hereafter. And if you go against that, naturally, you're not going to have a holistic life. You know what I mean? As believers, sometimes we look at towards the non-Muslims and we see them in when it comes to entertainment and stuff like that. Oh, they look like they're having so much fun. But I said holistically, see them when they're at home, when they're by themselves. Yeah, see their relationship with those that are close with them. Non-existent. That's why they have to go to those parties, to drown out the noise in the head. Know what I mean? And they mentioned something about loneliness. Yeah, how to fill that void of loneliness. Now, being lonely is so important. You have to embrace these things, guys, because once you're lonely, they say somebody who is uncomfortable with being lonely is somebody that's uncomfortable with the talk that goes on in their head, and you have to learn to combat that. You have to learn to find out what the issues are, because they will tell you about yourself. I'm not saying too much. Anything in excessiveness is not good, but a degree of loneliness and being alone is healthy. It's needed. It is important. Yeah. Another thing about being lonely is you appreciate company. You appreciate the people like your family and your friends, and you'll appreciate being in a relationship as well. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Can't be around the person all the time. It's not healthy. Yeah, just like you can't have day all the time. We understand things through their extremes or through their opposites. That's how life is. Yeah, we understand peace because of turmoil. We appreciate hot because of cold. We appreciate company because of loneliness. Yeah, so people that think that it's a bad thing, no, you have to go through these things. As a parent, even as a youngster, you have to go through these things. You have to go through pain. You have to. Otherwise, how are you going to appreciate others that are going through pain? Like when I was with my self-defense teacher, I would flinch when he would do, because he's very heavy-handed. And he said, no, you need to know how it feels. So when you inflict this pain upon someone else, you'll know that it is effective. Yeah, but here, you'll know that it's destructive. Yeah, not, treating someone like this or like that. This is one of the things that Ramadan teaches us as well.
These systems will say things like, I love you. They don't love anything. They're just moving around numbers. And that means that the customers of them can get hurt. In that way, they're almost like sociopaths. They're just telling you what you want to hear.
Subhanallah, it's really just disappointing to see that this is what our youth are being drawn towards, because they're being told, and this is even in certain kind of, I'd say religious households, but I'd probably say cultural, to be honest. Like, say, education is very important. Madrasa, you don't have to go madrasa, mate. You're not well. Try that at school. Yeah, before going to school, your parents are going to say, I don't care if your leg's falling off, mate. You're going to school. So what are we indirectly telling our kids? We're telling them that school is more important than Islam. Yeah, and we're putting this in their head that this is the be all and end all, mate. This is success, a career, job, money. And that's the thing, it never stops. Then when you're going to work, you're going to delay marriage, and then you're going to delay having kids, and eventually you're not going to be happy. So as parents, we need to be responsible with the sort of values we're instilling into our children. And as children, we need to look at the mistakes that our elders are making and not see them as, revelation. Yeah, although, yes, we're supposed to love and respect them, that doesn't mean that they're going to be right all of the time. You can respectfully disagree. And in order to do that, you need to acquire some knowledge. You know what I mean? Like you're doing right now by watching this. Inshallah, you've benefited. Let's leave it there, guys. Until next time. Assalamu alaikum.